Imagine this. One day, someone offers you a machine, and this machine can give you the perfect life. Inside it, you could become whoever you have always wanted to be. Loved, admired, successful, at peace. No humiliating failures, no deep loneliness, no nights spent wondering if you are enough. Just happiness. A life that finally feels complete. But there is one catch. None of it would be real. The love would feel real, but it would be programmed. The success would feel real, but it would be artificial. The meaning would feel real, but it would be built on illusion. You would feel alive, but you would be living in a lie. So here is the question. Would you enter? Because if happiness is all we want, then a perfect illusion should be enough. But for many people, it isn't. And that may reveal something important about what it means to be human. Welcome to The Thinking Baobab, a place where we slow down and explore the big questions behind everyday life. And today's question is one of the deepest in philosophy. Would you live in a perfect fake reality? Let's take the machine seriously. This is not some cheap dream. Inside it, everything feels real. When you laugh, the joy feels real. When you are loved, the connection feels real. When you succeed, the pride feels real. Once you enter, you live it fully. Maybe inside the machine, you become the person you always hoped you could be. Brilliant, brave, understood. Maybe all the things that seem out of reach in real life suddenly become yours. No more fear of failure, no more painful uncertainty, no more watching life happen for other people while you wait your turn. And honestly, that sounds tempting, because real life is hard. People leave, dreams break, effort goes unrewarded. And even when we do everything right, life can still wound us. So if a machine could remove that pain and replace it with peace, pleasure, and fulfillment, why wouldn't we choose it? That is what makes this question powerful. The machine does not tempt us with something obviously evil. It tempts us with comfort, with relief. And then it asks, are those things enough? Before we reject the machine, we should be honest. There are real reasons someone might say yes. First, the happiness inside the machine would still feel real to you. That matters. Pain in the mind still hurts. Fear in the mind still affects us. So pleasure in the mind still counts too. From the inside, your joy would not feel fake. It would feel like joy. Second, many of us already organize our lives around feeling better. We seek peace. We seek pleasure. We avoid suffering. So if the machine gives us what we already spend our lives trying to find, maybe choosing it is simply honesty. And third, real life is not equally kind to everyone. Some people experience life not as a noble struggle, but as exhaustion, as grief, as disappointment that keeps returning. For someone like that, the machine may not feel shallow. It may feel like mercy, and that is what makes this question difficult. At some point, suffering can become so real that illusion starts to look less ridiculous. And the question stops being abstract. It becomes personal. This thought experiment is often connected to the philosopher Robert Nozick. He imagined an experience machine that could give you any life you wanted. And he believed that most people would refuse. Why? Because he thought, we want more than pleasant experiences. We do not just want the feeling of doing something meaningful. We want to actually do it. We do not just want the feeling of being loved. We want to actually be loved by a real person. We do not just want the sensation of becoming someone admirable. We want to actually become that person. That distinction matters, because it suggests that human beings are not just pleasure-seeking creatures. We are also truth-seeking creatures. Reality matters to us. Authenticity matters to us. A joyful lie is not the same as joyful truth. And deep down, many of us seem to know that. This leads to a bigger question. What makes a life good? Is it pleasure, peace, simply feeling happy? At first, that sounds reasonable. But when we look more closely, happiness alone begins to feel too thin. Imagine someone says, "I can give you the feeling of friendship without any real friends. I can give you the feeling of success without any real achievement. I can give you the feeling of love without another real human being choosing you." Something about that feels empty. Not because feelings do not matter. They do. But maybe feelings alone are not enough. Maybe a good life is not just about what happens inside us. Maybe it also depends on what we are connected to outside ourselves. A false victory is not the same as a real one. A programmed embrace is not the same as being held by someone who freely loves you. Because truth gives weight to experience. Without truth, pleasure can still exist, but it can start to feel hollow. Now the question gets deeper. What if part of what makes life meaningful is that it is real? In real life, things are not guaranteed. Love can be rejected. Effort can fail. Courage matters because fear is real. Growth matters because we begin unfinished. A life with no resistance may feel easier, but it may also become shallow, because a life that asks nothing of you may become comfortable, but empty. That does not mean pain is good. It is not. But it may mean that some forms of meaning can only exist in a world where things are real, difficult, and not fully under our control. And maybe that is why many people would still refuse the machine. Not because happiness is bad, but because happiness without truth feels incomplete. We do not just want comfort. We want authenticity. We do not just want to feel alive. We want to be alive. Now for the uncomfortable part. Maybe the experience machine is not only a futuristic fantasy. Maybe smaller versions of it are already everywhere. Think about the modern world. Social media can simulate admiration. Curated lives can simulate fulfillment. Digital spaces can simulate identity. Again and again, we are offered polished versions of life. Edited versions. Comforting versions. Versions where appearance can begin to matter more than truth. And if we are not careful, we start choosing stimulation over substance. Pleasure over reality. In that sense, the machine is not just a science fiction device. It is a mirror. It asks whether we really want truth, or only experiences that feel good enough to replace it. And that is why this question matters now, not just in philosophy, in life. So let's return to the question one last time. A machine offers you the perfect life. No deep failure, no unbearable loneliness, no humiliating uncertainty, only satisfaction, only beauty, only the feeling that everything has finally come together. But none of it is real. Would you enter? Some people would say yes. And their answer would not be foolish. It would come from taking suffering seriously. Others would say no, because they believe truth matters even more. Because they believe love must be real to count. Because they believe achievement must be earned to matter. And maybe that is the deeper revelation here. Human beings do not seem to want comfort alone. We want a life that is real. A life where love can be freely given. A life where courage can mean something. A life where meaning, if it comes, is not programmed. It is earned. Under the Baobab, we do not rush toward easy answers. we sit with the hard ones. And this question is worth sitting with. Because it does not only ask whether we like pleasure, it asks what we think life is for. Maybe a perfect illusion could make us happy, but would it make us human? So now I want to ask you, if you had the chance to enter a machine that gave you a perfect life, but none of it was real, would you choose it? And just as important, why? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoy big questions, thought experiments, and ideas that make you see life differently, subscribe to The Thinking Baobab, where young minds grow deep.